Hey review family, keep it tight. My name is Jay Morse, the review guy, reviewing music for the love of music, and I'm back again to bring you another video. And in this one I'm going to be covering the new Drown record entitled Subaqueous. This is the second studio-length album by Drown, the solo project of Markov Soroka, which he has been involved with quite a few different projects. The first project that really caught my eye, the one that I actually didn't know he was involved with going into this record, was Kornobog, who released a really good record in 2017. Markov likes to play in the funeral doom metal vicinity, a genre that habitually likes to invoke a lot of lethargy, a lot of melancholic tones. The pitches are very bleak, they're very dreary, and sometimes lifeless, but still invoke a lot of emotion. So in anticipation for this review, I went back and listened to the first album from this project, released in 2014, Unsleep. I just feel like Subaqueous is such a better record overall than Unsleep. Don't get me wrong, as someone that does enjoy this genre quite often, I found Unsleep to be good. I just thought the mix was a little bit muddied. I felt like the vocals were a little bit overpowering. I felt like the drums were not mixed and equalized in such a way that they balanced well with the guitar work. And as opposed to funeral doom metal that I prefer, which is just one rolling motion with progressions that doesn't try to go too quickly, that paces itself, that takes as long as it needs to, I don't feel like Unsleep sometimes really felt like that. It felt a little chaotic, and that's weird for a genre that is usually slow. Another thing that caught my eye is how this album was mixed by none other than Greg Chandler, the lead vocalist and one of the guitarists for the pioneering funeral doom metal band Esoteric. Now admittedly, I did not really enjoy their last album that they dropped last year, but they're a classic for the genre, and seeing him producing this record is just another little hallmark of why this is so good. I mean it when I say this is the first funeral doom metal project that has rivaled Bell Witch's record Mirror Reaper, which if you know anything about that album, it is literally a full-blown, through and through, long-tail masterpiece for funeral doom metal. And Subaqueous has that in spades, considering that the name of the record references formed or occurring underwater, and it nails that submerged feeling. Whether it be the way the guitars are played at times to really give it this aquatic feeling, like you are being drowned, which I do know that Markov metaphorically was trying to work with that. And the comparisons with Bell Witch don't really stop there, because the way the vocals are mixed, they sound quite a bit like the vocals on Bell Witch's Mirror Reaper. In many ways, from this genre, I often feel like there is an abruptness to how the progressions work as it goes from some of the wrung out type of guitar chords to some more heavier instrumentation, which usually makes the drums a little bit more of the forefront. They usually mix the drums to sound very massive and towering. I didn't really get the impression though that Drown was struggling to pad out these two tracks, as you're getting these little underwater add-ins and little bits and pieces to give it such atmosphere to really set the tone of what this record's trying to do. Not to mention, alongside that instrumentation, the lyrics are not only very intelligible, but really powerful. Very sad in a way. Unlike a lot of what doom metal tries to be a lot of time, which is just a vibe, which is just going forward, padding along, funeral doom metal really excels when it gets a lot of expansive space, but that should not be taken as an excuse to just make an overly long record with not much to it. Even though the titles of these two tracks seem to continue on the saga, the Drowned saga that was present on Unsleep, I don't think that that album embodied the sentiment quite as well as this album does. It just seems like a mere glimpse, it just seems like a mere echo, it seemed like a stepping stone, and I think that is to give credit to Markov's instrumental capability and the capability of Greg Chandler on the production. I don't cover a lot from this genre, and it's mostly because my eyes glaze over a lot of times. This is the first funeral doom metal album in a while that I literally just sat and listened to, and I was captivated by it. It is intoxicating, it is an experience, it is pure blissful euphoria and mental isolation. It is the black and white, it is the high and low, it's the endless corridor with a mere window at the end where you periodically see lightning strike, and every time you're going forward, one of the doors swing open to some sort of new horror. but that just overwhelming numbness, that feeling of emptiness that resonates in your lungs as each of these riffs are just ringing out into oblivion with these reverbed, echoey vocals, which just feels like some otherworldly figure screaming from the afterlife. I think I can say, without a doubt, and I mean this is my favorite album that has released this year so far. Anyone that has watched this channel for a prolonged period of time, or even some of my reviews, will understand and comprehend how much I enjoy atmosphere in music, and how much I think that can make a record sound just amazing. So you would think that I would like every release from a genre that is pretty much dedicated to that feeling. And to be honest, a lot of times the releases nowadays are just okay. But Drown really got me. Not only did it get me, it got to me. It got in me. I don't think there's any dissonance here. This album makes 41 minutes go by in a flash. So tip of the hat to Markov. It's really hard to talk about this record. It makes me recall a quote that I read a long time ago for Ernest Hemingway's novel, A Farewell to Arms, which basically said, talking well about this album is like praising the Grand Canyon. It's so massive and so beautiful that eventually it is just going to sound like empty platitudes. And I'm not comparing this album to A Farewell to Arms, I just think the sentiment still holds true. I understand this is a niche genre. Not everyone's gonna get into this as much as I did, but personally I was super moved by this instrumentation. I thought the performance was absolutely through the roof. I love the poeticism as someone that does enjoy storytelling and kind of grief-laden stories. And I think in many ways the metaphors used are very true to human nature. And overall, I just hope that there is more from this project. I would love to see more from this project, because going through other things that this person has done, I feel like this is probably his strongest project. Otherwise, I'm going to be giving this album a 9 out of 10. And that is a wrap. Have you heard this new Drown record, Subaqueous? If you have, let me know in the comment section below what you thought about it. I would love to discuss the record with you. Be sure to stay for the end screen and links and videos that you might be interested in. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to join the review family today, and smash that notification bell to be notified of my future uploads. You know who it is. My name is Jay Morris, the Review Guy, and I'm signing off saying farewell.
Go ahead, live your best life.